Well, hello everyone again. This is Tim here with Be Well, God Bless, and it is my privilege to be speaking with another new member here to learn more about her. And the person that we're speaking with today is Maria Peth, and I am just so thrilled to be able to introduce you to her. And Maria, welcome. We're so happy to have you.
Well, thank you, Tim. I'm happy to be here.
One of the fun things about meeting with you, even on the phone here, is that I've actually had the privilege of meeting you in person, even though it was just briefly, one of our recent workshops, and that's always fun. Be Well, God Bless members are in our communities, but they're across the Midwest in an ever-growing and ever-increasing group, and so it's fun to be able to have contact with someone that's, not an immediate community next door here, but close. So we're practically
right. Yes, that was really nice to meet. I appreciate, always putting a face to a name. So I agree.
Absolutely. Yes, it's been fun. So we'll look forward to more of those meetings. You are doing some similar things, I've learned. You're putting on workshops and training, and so this is something really neat that I'm looking forward to learning about. But before we get to those things, I'd love to just back up kind of to the beginning, and if you could tell us just a little bit about yourself, that'd be wonderful.
Sure. Well, I feel that some of my most important roles are really to be a mother and wife, and of course, daughter and teacher. So I am a mother of two beautiful young people. They're in their 20s. I am been married to my amazing husband for 34 years, and I have been teaching for almost as long in different modalities. Not always a public school teacher, but through the years, I have had opportunity to be in sales and business, and then, of course, in the public school area, in private school, and now I of course, teach workshops, and I'm a soul coach, so doing life coaching and soul coaching for people individually, and also doing group, teaching where we work on expanding our spirituality or really improving life in any aspect that we can. And then individual sessions, doing angel readings as well, which is kind of a unique experience for people. So I love my life, and I would say that I am still, most importantly, a mother and wife. But teacher is perfect extension of that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And you can see the teacher all through every stage. The public school, sales and business, by all means, you probably functioned as a teacher in many of those areas, even though we don't call it that.
Right, they call it, trainer, or they
they
call it
that, trainer, helper,
or manager.
Exactly, but we use, those of us who are teachers at heart, as you are, you use those skills everywhere, and now it's this new phase of your journey as a soul coach. Is that what you refer to, soul coach?
Yes, I have Maria's Angelic Enlightenment, and I specialize in really working with people individually and expanding their life, supporting them on levels that they may want to improve on. Sometimes it's individual support for their business. More often it's relationship issues that people want to really become more spiritual about. It's combining we say the spirit with the logic, a spirit with psychology. I have a background in, of course, education, but also social psychology. And so as a soul coach, I've I've trained, I guess, expressly with the Tony Robbins organization as a strategic intervention coach. And the organization really works a lot on helping us to learn strategies to support people through life challenges and, again, relationship issues, or maybe being stuck and needing to break through a block of some kind in their business, or even in their own, mental, physical, or spiritual mindset. And then I say solo because I always involve spirit. I always involve the idea of God's presence in our lives. And I feel that most, people can resonate with that aspect of, we all have that guidance from God within us, and helping people to learn how to listen to that guidance and to direct that in their lives in a way that really channels all of their behavior more in its place of peace and joy and love and harmony. And it's pretty, tough lesson for all of us, because we start, at 2 years old at tantruming, and then our parents teach us to perhaps use our words instead of screaming. But when you get to be, 52 and you're still tantruming, you don't have a parent around, and you've learned to use your words, but inside you're still screaming. It's like, how do we calm that? So sometimes teaching, strategies to help a person calm, to learn how to do, more prayerful intention or meditation, to really, begin to be aware that our thoughts, are rather abstract, and that they don't really have to manage our behavior, that we have a choice in every minute. And it just really becomes very interesting when we become just that much more aware and conscious. But yes, soul coaching is a really good way to say, we're teaching concepts that support a person through life in whatever area they might need. And doing it one-on-one, sometimes in small groups, sometimes, for an audience, through a presentation of some kind. So, and the angel readings are just a natural part of what I do. I happen to be extremely intuitive, and I do feel that my angels speak, to me, and I help other people to learn, again, how to listen to that voice of God. It's all spirit. It's all, God's energy. It's all one. That's my passion now.
Wow, that just sounds amazing. It really sounds full. You're meeting, I love how you use the word soul, and really getting to the very core of the person's being, not just how we present ourselves in the world and how we wish we would be, but dealing with us right where we actually are, the real emotions and struggles and that we're trying to overcome, and the victories we're trying to attain. And so many of those things are internal battles and struggles, not against the external.
Yes, absolutely. And we can all use a little guidance.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you really explained to us what you do, and then also how that happens, and the benefit. A couple of different modalities and individuals for groups or larger groups. But one more thing, just a little piece. How did you even first become interested in this direction with what you were doing? This type of teaching in this area? What kind of turned you towards this?
Right. It really is part of my, life journey or story, but it does really start with, I was born in Brazil and South America, and my mother when I was 3, she, said, I'm going to go to America, and I thought America was, around the corner, and that I might see her a little sooner than I did. But about a year had passed, and I was with my grandma, and Grandma said, let me show you how you can connect with Mama, because we were, it's 1960 something. We didn't have a phone in our small apartment in in Brazil, in São Paulo, and we had the way of connecting through the heart. And so my, grandma said, put your hands at your heart, and she said, and then take a really deep breath and come, let me hold you. And she said, now just say mama to yourself, and you tell me when you feel her, when you see her, when you experience her. And, I was about 4, so I was really pretty young, but extremely impressionable, and also, very willing to make this connection that I felt was, magical. And I could in those moments when I first learned, and to continue on through the rest of my life, I could, through that heart connection, tap into my mother's essence, my mother's energy, and I felt her at times. I imagined that I could see her, and I could sense, that she was happy, and I could sense, her temperament, so to speak, her energy, and I expressed that, to my grandmother, and she encouraged me, and so she said, anytime you want to call her, she said, you just, go into your heart and you call her. And there began what I would consider to be a heart-to-heart connection. And, to this day, when I am needing to, through either with permission from, a client or through permission, through prayer, I ask to, tap into normally it's my own, family, of course, first when they're far away, how, like what is it, like to be in my son's essence right now? Is he okay? Is he balanced? Is he whole? Is he, feeling a sense of, self and grounded? And I get those impressions. And so, I've been practicing this for many years, the great amount of intuition that extends, in, psychology to really understanding, different personalities and getting an awareness of that. Everything is vibration, Tim. We connect, with, in a vibrational way with our animals, our pets. They know who the good guys are and, who is going to give them a treat or give them a pet. And they tend to gravitate towards, more positive or open energy. This is really about energy. So I began a very, set journey there and connecting, spiritually. And then with the intention of wanting to express and help others, it just kind of grew from, me being a teacher at a regular, high school to, suddenly people really going, I've heard that did you help people? Can we schedule a session and meetings? And then over the last 15 years, this has grown into a business where, I schedule set appointments with people on an individual basis to support them. And we draw in that piece of the intuition, and it's quite amazing. Many people have reported that, I should say they keep coming and they keep sending their friends, and, one or two or three at the very beginning of my journey as a paying, we would say as a professional, has now, turned into thousands of people that have helped. And so the business speaks for itself, or the work speaks for itself. I don't even want to really call it a business sometimes. It's like my work, my life's work. And I was doing it in the classroom too, just the intuitive awareness of what a child might need beyond the general aspect of what I was teaching them. Maybe they needed a hand on the shoulder, or maybe they needed me to spend a few minutes talking to them after class that day. We all have that very clear intuition. We just don't always tap into it. But I learned and started to tap into it at a very, very young age, and the essence of that, the energy of that has stayed with me, and it has served very well. So I am extremely intuitive, and that is a miracle, I feel. But we all have gifts and miracles that we bring forth. Sometimes we just need to really allow them to come forth and not fear them in any way.
It's really neat to see how I think when you describe, actually, if I back up just a little, I think when you describe how this isn't your business, this truly is your life's work, I think that's just a very good description, very appropriate, because we certainly see the fullness of your life experiences, the fullness of your education, the fullness of your care to help others, really all coming together. And so it's wonderful to be at this stage of life where you're taking all the things that you've learned and just continuing to share and serve and encourage and help and heal, and it's a very neat story, and I'm so glad that I got to spend some time here learning so much more.
Well, thank you. Thank you for taking the time as well.
Absolutely. Before we let you go today to get back to work, is there one last question maybe you wish I would have asked, or one last point you'd like to leave us with?
Well, I have been sharing my journey and some of my teachings through the avenue of writing. And so I do, have a blog right on my website, which is linked to Be Well, God Bless. And so anyone can find it that's connected to our community. The blog is right on the website itself. But my book, my first book, I should say, Angel Decoding, Secret Keys to Communicating with Your Angels, is, I guess, something that I would like to, make a point of. It's a good book if someone is interested in, knowing a little bit more about how they can, connect more spiritually. And then I do have a second book in the works, but that I'm hoping to complete, by the end of this year and have out, by the beginning of next year. So we'll look for more writings, but through writing I can reach so many more people, and that has been a blessing as well.
Oh, that's fabulous. I wasn't aware of that. So to all members of Be Well, God Bless, we can certainly find Maria in the member directory, and you can find her there. But can you also give us, what's just your personal website in case they want to look you up there?
It's my name, so it's www.Maria, Peth, that's my last name, P as in Paul, E as in Edward, T for Tom, H for Henry, .com. And in there are links to scheduling a session with me. There are links to the store where you can get a direct, link to get my book on Amazon. You can also, download it. The link works in both ways. There's also a couple of meditation CDs that I have out, or MP3 downloads if you want. And let's see what else is in there. A little bit about essential oils as well that I love to use to stay healthy. So lots of opportunity. And then the blog is free, so read away and learn a little bit of covering the topics that I have in there. Of course, are typically about either living well or, spirit or soul, enlightenment, support for relationships, and also the idea of overcoming challenges. So lots of content.
Lots of resources, really lots of resources for anyone. Well, wonderful. Thank you so much, Maria, for taking the time to visit with us, and we'll look forward to learning more about what more is to come from you on your site and through your future writings.
Thank you so much, Tim. It was wonderful to connect today, and may you be well and God bless.
Well, thank you. Be well and God bless, and you have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.